Hello, everyone. I'm Deborah Becknell, the co-owner, content creator, producer of Allergy Navigator, as well as fellow allergy sufferer.
Hi, my name is Dana Mohan. I'm a fellow allergy sufferer, the co-owner, educator, and certified life and health coach for Allergy Navigator.
I wanted to introduce myself and give you some background on my story and why I'm so passionate about Allergy Navigator and its purpose. At 42 years old, I was a healthy and active woman with perfect medical labs. I have never had a weight problem, and the only medicine that I ever took was allergy medicine. And the only reason that I began to take it was because I started to notice that I was having reactions when I entered moldy buildings or read old books. The headaches, heavy drainage, and laryngitis were some of the symptoms I had and never experienced them before. Then a progression of things happened over the next couple of years.
How did I get here? I have a few theories. It wasn't overnight my body started rejecting things. It was very slowly. First, it was dairy. About 6 months after I stopped eating dairy products, I started noticing every time I ate any sort of breaded item, there was swelling in my hands, arms, and legs. That's when I started a food journal. When I finally started the food journal, sure enough, it was every time I had items that contained wheat. That was also about the time when gluten was becoming the devil. So with all of that I had read about gluten, I decided to go gluten-free. With all the changes I had made, I thought I had solved my issues, and I resigned to the fact that I would just have to be grain-free for the rest of my life.
I started having throat sensitivities, where I would have to clear my throat while drinking coffee or eating certain foods or enjoying the outdoors. These symptoms became so bad that I eventually started having difficulty swallowing altogether. The symptoms progressively got worse and led to breathing issues. This started affecting my everyday life, my eating, my nutrition, and my weight.
Then, in 2018, things got really bad. It almost seemed like my body was rejecting me. It was a constant fight. I never felt good. I was in pain all day, every day. I realized when I started getting some eye rolls and some dismissals from others, I had begun to share too much about feeling badly all the time. It was so tough to enjoy a night out with my husband. I began to make excuses for not being able to go out with my friends or family. The pain just kept getting worse, and one day I was just not able to get out of bed and get moving. I started to wonder if I had an ulcer or something. My whole gut region was tender to the touch. It felt inflamed, and I still was barely able to eliminate my bowels.
The suffering continued and escalated. These included feelings of isolation, loneliness, fear about the future, and I also struggled physical and emotional changes. I struggled personally. It was so difficult to find anything I could eat that wouldn't give some sort of reaction. I felt so poorly, and I struggled every day with tasks. It became almost impossible to go to our kids' sporting events with all the invisible attacks. And I call them invisible because I could feel them immensely, but no one could see them. I worried that others thought I was crazy having to run back and forth to the car because at the outdoor events, it was making it hard for me to breathe and swallow. I never knew how I would feel or what symptoms would pop up whenever I left home. This fight to live normal while being abnormal continued on. I accepted being hungry and sick. I became very underweight and malnourished. My symptoms progressed to irritable bowel syndrome, and my health continued to decline. I developed weak muscles, teeth issues, and osteopenia. I could only eat about 10% of foods. I had to do drastic things like rotate my foods so as not to allow my body to create sensitivity to them because I was having to eat the same things over and over again. I was no longer able to eat out, and if I went somewhere, I had to pack my own food because every restaurant visit seemed like a potential horror scene.
I made a doctor's appointment with my general practitioner. During my visit, he asked me a few questions, but I filled him in on what had been going on with me And without even touching my stomach to feel for anything, I was told that I was depressed, and he gave me a prescription for an antidepressant. Although I knew I was feeling low, I knew it was much more than that. I refused to take the meds and promptly changed doctors.
Then I had a breakthrough. I found a doctor who actually helped me, or did he find me? In my marketing business, I had a new client who wanted us to do a video promo for him and share his patients' miraculous stories. His patients found the root cause of their health problems and were given treatment to actually solve their issues. If they followed their new regimens, they were healed. I couldn't wait to meet these patients. I needed to learn more about this. Our full day of video was so enlightening. I heard all these new words like functional medicine, age-defying, cellular medicine, genomic, optimal health, transformation, genetic disposition, and root cause. We interviewed patients that ranged from 22 to 80 years old, and they all had one thing in common. They underwent the doctor's testing, found the root cause, and they were cured. They no longer suffered. I wanted to sign up for this transformation myself, so I scheduled my first appointment, and it was so different from all the appointments that I'd had in the past. He actually took the time to listen to everything, and it seemed more like a business interview. I had all of his recommendation tests done and discovered that I had leaky gut syndrome caused by a non-celiac gluten sensitivity.
So here we are at the end of 2018. I finally got an appointment with the Cleveland Clinic, a progressive research hospital located in Cleveland, Ohio, about 6 hours from my home. At the Cleveland Clinic, I finally received care I felt I needed. I had an appointment with a GI doctor, and after he heard my story, he put his hands on my hands and told me, "I believe you." I instantly burst into tears. I had been trying to get someone to believe me for so long, and no one, not even my family or friends or even my husband, really believed me. Fast forward to the results. My gut was tattered. I had major inflammation, nodes, and scarring, and he concluded that I had permeable intestine, which is leaky gut in layman's terms. With the leaky gut, my body saw the foods as something it needed to fight off. The way to overcome this is to heal the gut and to heal the gut lining. I felt major vindication. It wasn't until I really got to know Deborah in 2021 that I found someone who had the same kind of experiences. In many ways, she was my earth angel. She pointed me to her functional medicine practitioner, and the rest is history.
Dana and I share common allergies, feelings, struggles, and the desire to overcome them. We were able to discuss and share what was working and what was not. Even though we both had allergies to many of the same things, our symptoms greatly differed. Through our research, trials, and healing, we have figured out a lot of solutions that could be very meaningful to other sufferers. We fully recognize the struggles that allergy sufferers go through and how it feels to be scared, hungry, alone, especially when you're away from home, and misunderstood.
I finally started, again, to reintroduce foods slowly, and over the last 2 years, I would say I have gotten back to where I was with the initial food loss, where I am only sensitive to grains and some nuts, but I have high hopes that I will soon be able to get those back as well. Stay tuned. Today, I have gotten back to a healthy weight. I am able to enjoy social outings, restaurants, and travel again. I still have to plan ahead, but it has now become a part of my life. I like the way I feel, and I like that I don't have to worry about diseases that have been linked to all the toxins in our foods. I can now almost see it as a blessing.
The mission of Allergy Navigator is to educate, grow awareness, and advocate for the allergy sufferer. We hope that you will subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can help us build a community where we can share new information, reviews, and tips and tricks. Subscribe to our channel and heal with us.